Today we're going to show you how to get an MVC PHP to RPG full stack application going in 10 minutes or less. This guide is going to assume that your environment is set up to do PHP on the IBMI, you have installed Composer, and you have access and credentials to the IBMI operating system. If you don't, I've left some links down below to help you on your way. With that being said, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is download the repo, which includes all the source code for the application, and the link for this will be included down below. Let's click the code button and select Download Zip. Once it's done downloading, move it to the desktop. First, we're going to extract all onto the desktop. Next, we're going to rename it Bank App, so it's easier to work with. And then finally, we're going to move it to our PHP root file, so the application can run once the local host is spun up. Next, we're going to install Composer dependencies. This sets up required PHP libraries for secure configuration and authentication. So we're going to open a command prompt. And we're going to change directory with cd to the project root. And we're going to run a Composer install, which reads the project's dependency list and installs the libraries required for the application to function. Next, we're going to set up the bat file. The bat file is going to allow you to quickly and consistently start the local PHP server in the correct directory. So we're going to update the directory path so it points to your project location. Next, we're going to run the generate secret key file. This key is used to cryptographically sign and validate authentication tokens, ensuring secure login sessions. It is needed to set up your environment variables, which we'll be going over next. Head to your project root and go to Config and open your env.example file in VS Code or another code editor. Setting up this file will allow your PHP application to securely communicate with the IBMI, as well as provide some important setup information. Enter your secret key, your username, your password, your data source name, and the library you intend to install the product in. It should be noted that this library must exist before you compile your RPG or the application will not work. Finally, we're going to change our .env.example file to be just a regular .env file, so it can be recognized by the php.env library. Next, we're going to compile and run the RPG. We will need to add some members to a source physical file. This can be done through Access Client Solutions 5250 emulator, but I'm going to be using VS Code. So now I'm going to my install library and I'm making sure that there's a source physical file qrpglesrc, and I'm going to make two new members, install.sqlrpgle and transact.rpgle. Now we're going to go to the Setup and Install folder and edit in Notepad install.sqlrpgle and transact.rpgle. We're going to be pasting the source code into those two newly created source members and hitting save. Next, we're going to open a 5250 session so we can compile and run our RPG. The install script consists of a script that will compile the transact RPG LE program, which serves as the back end for the withdraw and deposit transactions that take place in the application. And it will also install all SQL related objects into the install library that you specify. So we're going to work with members in PDM. We're going to 14 to compile install, but we're going to F4 so we can target our install library just to make sure that it's in the right place. And we're going to want to turn the debug view into source. Once we have that all compiled, we're going to want to go ahead and give that a call so it can install all the SQL and RPG components that we need to get this full stack application going. Just be sure to use the parm keyword in your command and make sure you're using the library that you would like the product installed in. Now let's test things out. Start up a local host using the bank app server bat file in the setup and install folder. Now with your local host up, you should be able to go to localhost:8000/login.html and be seeing this page. Try creating a profile and logging in. Then try depositing and withdrawing some money. If it works, congratulations. You've just set up an MVC PHP to RPG full stack application in 10 minutes or less. And the rest of the video is just going to be me demoing the final product. So we got a registration successful. So we're going to try and log in, see if that works. This is done through a hashed password, so we're all good there. And this is all the password and login information, and the transaction information is all on the IBMI. So we tried to withdraw our deposit and we saw we haven't had any transactions yet. So we're going to try and get a little money into our account just to start off. That transaction successful, as well as every transaction that takes place in this application is being done by RPG in the back end. As you can see, that RPG just validated that they cannot withdraw that much money because they do not have that much money in their account. So now the RPG is going to let them because they've got $10, so they can withdraw $5. And that's just a small example of how the application is supposed to work.